Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Jason, and I am very happy that you are spending a few minutes of your day with us today. Whether you are listening while walking, studying, relaxing at home, or traveling somewhere, thank you so much for joining us. Our goal in this podcast is simple: to help you improve your English in a natural, easy, and enjoyable way through real conversations and practical topics that you can use in your everyday life.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia, and I'm excited to be here with you again. Today's episode is going to be very useful because we are talking about something that every single person experiences every day: daily life and routines in English. This is one of the most important topics for English learners because daily routines are part of almost every conversation. When you meet someone new, people often ask questions like, "What do you usually do during the day?" or "What time do you wake up?" So learning how to talk about your routine can really help you sound more natural and confident in English.
Exactly, Julia. And the great thing about this topic is that you already know your own daily life. You already know what you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening. That means you do not need complicated ideas to practice English. You simply need the right vocabulary, useful expressions, and the confidence to speak about your real life in simple English.
That's right. In today's episode, we are going to learn useful daily routine vocabulary, practice real-life conversations, talk about common mistakes English learners make, and share some easy tips that can help you speak English more naturally every day. So relax, listen carefully, and if possible, try repeating some sentences with us while you listen.
All right, everyone, grab your coffee, tea, or notebook, and let's begin today's conversation about daily life and routines in English. So, Julia, before we start learning vocabulary and conversations, I think there is one very important question we should talk about first. Why is talking about daily life so important in English? Many learners focus only on grammar rules or difficult vocabulary, but they forget that real communication usually begins with simple everyday topics.
That's absolutely true, Jason. In real life, most conversations are actually very simple. When people meet for the first time, they usually do not start with difficult topics or advanced English. They often ask basic questions like, "What do you do every day? How is your routine? What time do you wake up?" or "What do you usually do after work or school?" These kinds of questions are everywhere in daily life.
Exactly. If you can talk comfortably about your daily routine, you can already have many natural conversations in English. Think about it when you talk to classmates, co-workers, online friends, or even people while traveling. Daily life topics appear all the time. People love talking about habits, schedules, work, studies, hobbies, food, sleep, and free time, because these things connect everyone.
And honestly, this topic is perfect for beginner English learners because you already know the information in your mind. You are not trying to invent new ideas. You are simply learning how to explain your real life in English. That makes speaking practice much easier and less stressful.
That is such an important point. Many learners become nervous because they think they need perfect English or very advanced vocabulary to speak fluently. But fluency actually starts with simple communication. If you can clearly explain your morning routine, your work schedule, or what you usually do in the evening, you are already building real speaking skills.
Yes, and daily routine English also helps learners improve many areas at the same time. For example, you practice vocabulary, verb tenses, pronunciation, sentence structure, and listening skills. Even simple sentences like, I wake up at 7 o'clock, or I usually study English at night, are helping your brain become more comfortable with English patterns.
Another great thing is repetition. Your routine happens every day, so you can practice the same English expressions again and again naturally. The more you repeat useful daily life sentences, the faster your English becomes automatic and natural.
Exactly. So if you are a beginner listening right now, remember this. You do not need difficult English to become a confident speaker. Start with your real life, your real habits, and your real experiences. Simple English used consistently every day can create amazing improvement over time.
Very well said, Julia. And now that we understand why this topic is so useful, let's move into something practical and fun, learning morning routine vocabulary and expressions that you can start using immediately in your own English conversations. All right, everyone. Now let's talk about one of the most common topics in everyday English conversations, your morning routine. This is something people talk about all the time, and learning these expressions can help you sound much more natural when speaking English.
Exactly. And the good news is that morning routine vocabulary is usually very simple and easy to remember because these are activities we do every single day. For example, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is turn off my alarm and slowly get out of bed because honestly, I am not a morning person at all.
I think many listeners can relate to that, Julia. So everyone, notice some very useful expressions Julia used. She said, "Wake up, turn off my alarm, and get out of bed." These are extremely common English expressions.
That's right. After I get out of bed, I usually brush my teeth, wash my face, and then take a quick shower before getting dressed for the day. Sometimes I listen to music or a podcast while I am getting ready because it helps me feel more awake and energetic in the morning.
Those are great examples of natural daily English. Listeners, pay attention to how simple these sentences are. You do not need difficult grammar to describe your routine. You can simply say, "I brush my teeth. I take a shower. I get dressed. I have breakfast." Simple sentences are powerful when they are clear and natural.
Absolutely. After getting ready, I usually have breakfast and drink a cup of coffee before leaving home. Some days I eat something healthy like eggs or fruit, but on busy mornings I just grab something quick and rush out the door.
And that is real-life English, right there. Expressions like have breakfast, drink coffee, leave home, and rush out the door are very useful in everyday conversations. Also, listeners, try speaking these expressions out loud with confidence. Repeating small daily phrases every day can greatly improve your pronunciation and speaking fluency over time.
Exactly. And remember, do not worry about sounding perfect. Just focus on speaking clearly and naturally about your real morning routine. The more you practice, the easier it becomes.
Great job, everyone! Now let's continue our day and move into afternoon and evening routines in English. All right, Julia, we already talked about morning routines, so now let's continue the day and talk about afternoon and evening routines. I think this is where people's schedules become very different depending on their lifestyle, work, studies, and personal habits.
That's very true, Jason. Some people have very busy afternoons filled with work, classes, meetings, or studying, while others may have more relaxed schedules. For me, the afternoon is usually my most productive time of the day. After lunch, I often spend a few hours working on projects, answering emails, reading articles, or preparing new ideas for future podcast episodes.
That sounds very organized. My afternoons are sometimes busy too, especially when I have a lot of tasks to finish. I usually try to stay focused, but honestly, Sometimes I get distracted by my phone or social media. I think many people struggle with that these days.
Oh, definitely. Social media can waste so much time if we are not careful. That's why I sometimes take short breaks, go for a walk, or do a little exercise to refresh my mind. Even a small, healthy habit during the day can improve your energy and concentration.
That is excellent advice. And listeners, notice some useful expressions here. Spend time working, answer emails, get distracted, take a break, and go for a walk. These are all common expressions used in daily English conversations.
Exactly. Then, in the evening, I usually try to relax more. I have dinner with my family, watch a little TV, sometimes read a book, and occasionally practice English or listen to podcasts before going to sleep. I think evenings are a great time to slow down and reflect on the day.
I agree. Some people also enjoy cooking dinner, talking with friends, exercising at night, or planning for the next day. Everyone's routine is different, and that's what makes conversations about daily life so interesting.
Yes, and the best part is that every daily activity gives you another opportunity to practice English naturally. Even simple habits can become powerful speaking practice.
Exactly. So now that we have explored morning, afternoon, and evening routines, let's move into a real-life English conversation where listeners can hear these expressions used naturally together. All right, Julia, let's have a simple, real-life conversation about our daily routines, so our listeners can hear how these expressions sound in natural English.
Sounds great. So, Jason, what time do you usually wake up in the morning?
I usually wake up around 6:30 in the morning. I try not to use my phone immediately after waking up because I want to start my day feeling calm and focused. After getting out of bed, I brush my teeth, take a shower, and make a cup of coffee before starting work.
That sounds like a very productive morning routine. I normally wake up a little later, around 7:30. I like to listen to relaxing music while getting ready because it helps me feel positive and energetic for the rest of the day.
That's nice. So, what do you usually do in the afternoon?
In the afternoon, I usually study, answer messages, and work on different projects. If I have free time, I sometimes go for a short walk or watch a few interesting videos online.
That sounds balanced. In the evening, I usually spend time with family, eat dinner, and sometimes read a book before going to sleep. I try to avoid staying up too late because I want to wake up early the next day.
Honestly, that is something I still need to improve. Sometimes I stay awake too long watching videos on my phone.
I think many people can relate to that, Julia.
Absolutely. And listeners, try practicing conversations like this out loud. The more you repeat simple daily life conversations, the more natural your English speaking will become.
All right, everyone. Now let's talk about some common mistakes English learners often make when speaking about daily routines. These mistakes are completely normal, especially for beginners, so do not feel discouraged if you have made some of them before.
Exactly. One very common mistake is using the wrong verb structure. For example, some learners say, I am wake up at 7, which is incorrect. The correct sentence is, I wake up at 7. After subjects like I, you, we, and they, we usually use the base form of the verb for daily routines.
That's a very important point. Another common mistake is forgetting frequency words like usually, always, sometimes, and never. These small words make your English sound much more natural. For example, I usually drink coffee in the morning. I sometimes study English at night.
Yes, and another mistake many learners make is giving very short answers all the time. For example, if someone asks, what do you do in the evening? Don't just say, watch TV. Try making a full sentence like, in the evening, I usually watch TV and spend time with my family.
Exactly. Full sentences help improve both fluency and confidence. Also, try not to translate directly from your native language into English word by word. Instead, learn natural English expressions through listening and practice.
And remember, mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake is actually helping you improve little by little.
Absolutely. The important thing is to keep speaking, keep practicing, and never be afraid to use English in real conversations. Now let's talk about something very important: how to actually practice daily routine English every single day. Many learners think they need expensive courses or perfect speaking partners to improve. But the truth is that some of the best practice can happen during your normal daily activities.
That's so true. One of the easiest and most effective methods is talking to yourself in English. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you can say simple sentences like, I am getting out of bed, I am making breakfast, or I am getting ready for work or school. This kind of small daily practice trains your brain to think more naturally in English.
Exactly. Another great habit is keeping a small daily routine journal. Every night, write a few simple sentences about your day in English. You do not need difficult vocabulary. Even short sentences like, Today I studied English for 1 hour, or I went for a walk after dinner, can help improve your grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure over time.
And here's another helpful tip. Record your voice while speaking English. Choose a simple topic like your morning routine and talk for 1 or 2 minutes. Then listen to yourself carefully. This is a powerful way to improve pronunciation and speaking confidence.
That's excellent advice. And listeners, remember this: consistency is more important than perfection. Even 10 minutes of daily English practice can create huge improvement if you continue doing it regularly.
Absolutely. Small daily habits can slowly turn into strong English communication skills, so keep practicing and trust the process.
Before we finish today's episode, we want to remind you of something very important. Becoming confident in English does not happen in one day. Fluency is a journey, and every small step you take matters. Even simple daily practice, like describing your routine or speaking a few sentences out loud, is helping you improve more than you realize.
That's absolutely true. Many English learners think they need perfect grammar, advanced vocabulary, or a native accent before they can speak confidently, but that is not true at all. Real confidence comes from practice, repetition, and using English consistently in your real daily life. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become.
And remember, you do not need to sound perfect to communicate successfully. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. What truly matters is expressing your ideas clearly and continuing to learn little by little every day.
Exactly. So please do not compare your English journey with someone else's progress. Everyone learns at a different speed. Focus on improving yourself step by step and celebrate small achievements along the way because those small improvements eventually become big results.
Very well said, Julia. Keep practicing, stay patient, and never stop believing in your ability to improve. Your future fluent self is being built through the small efforts you make every single day.
And always remember this: simple English spoken confidently is far more powerful than difficult English you are too afraid to use.
All right, everyone, let's quickly review what we talked about in today's episode. We learned that speaking about daily life and routines is one of the most useful ways to practice real English communication, because these conversations happen everywhere in everyday life.
Exactly. We talked about morning, afternoon, and evening routines, learned useful daily vocabulary and expressions, practiced a real-life English conversation, and discussed some common mistakes that English learners should try to avoid while speaking.
We also shared simple but powerful practice methods, like talking to yourself in English, writing a small daily journal, repeating common expressions, and recording your voice regularly. These habits may seem small, but they can create big improvement over time if you practice consistently.
And perhaps the most important lesson from today's episode is this: you do not need difficult vocabulary or perfect grammar to become a better English speaker. Start with your real life. Talk about your real habits, your daily activities, and your experiences using simple and natural English.
Absolutely. Real fluency grows from daily practice and repetition, not from trying to memorize hundreds of difficult words all at once.
So, our final advice for today is simple: make English part of your everyday life. The more you connect English with your real routine, the more natural and confident your speaking will become.
Very nicely said, Julia. And now, before we finish today's podcast, let's end with a quick message for our amazing listeners. All right, everyone, we really hope you enjoyed today's episode about daily life and routines in English. Now it's your turn to practice what you learned. Try to describe your own morning, afternoon, and evening routine in simple English sentences today. Even a few lines can make a big difference in your learning journey.
Yes, and if you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and support us. It really helps us create more useful and practical English learning content for you. Also, don't forget to leave a comment and tell us about your daily routine in English. We would love to read it, and maybe even use some of your examples in future episodes.
That's right. Keep practicing every day. Stay consistent. And remember that small steps lead to big progress in English fluency. We are always here to help you improve your speaking skills in a simple and natural way.
Thank you so much for listening and being part of our English learning journey. We truly appreciate your time and effort. Keep going, stay motivated, and believe in yourself.
We'll see you in the next episode of the English Learning Podcast. Until then, take care and keep speaking English every day.